Well, hi everyone who's stumbled across this blog or hey, found this on YouTube. I am the Disney critic. Now, for those who don't know what that is, I critique Disney films from Snow White, which was done in 1938 onwards, through the Disney Renaissance to the present day, the live-action animations and the live-action adaptations of the classic films. I know I'm actually kept busy. Now, the reason it started was 3 years ago I had this accident where my right foot was crushed, and in a nutshell, it left me unable to walk, and I had to learn how to do it all over again, and I've got a permanent lip pen now. So to alleviate the boredom, I created the Disney Critic blog, which after sadly I work and I'm at uni now, so I had to call time on it for a while. But hey, I thought I'd just do a little bit comeback for discuss Beauty and the Beast live action, because it happens to be my favourite Disney film. I wrote 10,000 words on it. Now, no Disney film is about sin. I critique them, I snark them. I say the things that work, the things that don't work. I can get quite sarcastic at times. Some bits are... No Disney film is perfect, but some of them are very, very underrated. For example, the one I think is an absolute classic is The Great Mouse Detective, or Basil of Baker Street. Pete's Dragon, I applauded it. Even though the dragon was terrible, it showed alcoholism quite blatantly in a Disney film. I applauded, in a way, The Black Cauldron, because even though the film is not that particularly great, the fact that Disney intentionally went into a dark direction. And you can see Belle's prototype in Eowyn, or Eloise, whatever her name is. Okay? Now, Beauty and the Beast is very interesting in the Disney canon, because Snow White came out in 1938, as I've said. Beauty and the Beast came out in 1991, but it's actually the 30th Disney film in the canon. Since then, they've been releasing one every year, but back before then, before the Renaissance really kind of kicked into gear, they used to took them a couple of years in between films. Sometimes even, I think, 4 years, just to get to, what's her name? Woman of Aurora, Sleeping Beauty. Oh, yes, I really put my cousin to my left, so no problems. But let me talk about Beauty and the Beast. Now, the problem is, doing a live-action adaptation of a classic film like Beauty and the Beast, that can really, really be the most daunting thing for any screenwriter or director. Now, the thing is, as an audience, we expect things to happen the way they have happened in the past in the Disney films. You know, Maleficent would have to put a curse on Aurora. Belle would have to get her library. You know, Cinderella will have to get the glass slipper instead of Luce's glass slipper. Now, what Bill Corden has done, the director of this film, is pretty much given us a shot-for-shot remake of the original 1991 classic film, but it's expanded. He's given some detail to the characters, he's given some expansion to them, and he's changed a few things around to make this film kind of original by itself, but kind of kept it comfortable within the Disney canon. Okay, now I'm going to start off. Now, this is a spoiler-free review, okay, because the film actually comes out today, but later on I'm going to do one full of spoilers, because I like this film, but it's not perfect. Sorry, but there's a few little issues here. Okay, one thing that Disney have been pushing for many, many years is kind of more diversity in their cast. In my review of Pete's Dragon, I said it was actually quite good that it was a very diverse villagers, even though they were arseholes, they were multi-ethnic arseholes. Pretty much the same thing here applies. That this is a very, very multi-ethnic, diverse crowd you have here. Once again, the villagers, who, as I did say, are smarter than what you think they are. That's a testament to Linda Worthington's original script. They are arseholes, but they're diverse arseholes. Okay? Something positive. See, something positive. Secondly, the props and the detail on this film are incredible. This film is a prop maker's dream. Now, what they've done is taken the gothic elements that made the story absolutely fantastic and booked them up to 9. You get to see this fantastic world of the Beast, of Belle, of the village, of the castle, kind of rendered in the real world. And one thing I liked is this. There's a bit of an issue I'm going to put into the spoiler view, how much time has passed. But one thing I liked about this castle was, this castle looked perfect, but neglected but perfect. The aging wasn't like 10 years we've been rushed in. It's so much more than Dustin. Even, yeah, I'm not going to start singing it. But time had passed. The fact is, it looked in a state of disrepair, but nothing that couldn't be tidied up with no problems. It looked used and felt and neglected and dusty and, you know, atmospheric. So the gothicness of the castle was absolutely spot on. Now, as I don't want to give away any spoilers, I'm not going to be talking about the Beast at all, okay? Even though they made certain kind of subtle differences to his character. Mr. Dan Stevens, okay, as the Prince Beast, okay, this is not, this has been seen in adverts and trailers, okay? With Beauty and the Beast, the original, the Beast was cast when he was about 10, 11, okay? That line from Be Our Guest and that kind of deleted scene, not deleted scene, that kind of scene in the Enchanted Christmas, made out that he was a child, okay? So far, so good. With this, he was cast as a grown-up, which kind of makes the relationship with him and Belle a bit more on an even keel. He's no longer a child in a state of arrested development. He is a grown man just basically trying, okay, to find some humility. There is more to it, but that's all I'm going to say right now, okay? I was going through the cast, see, and just describe what worked. A few things I didn't, I'll get to them later. Okay, now another spot-on actor in this is Luke Evans, sorry, their names rhyme, okay, as Gaston. Now, the beauty of Mr. Evans is he is a theatre actor. That is what you need of someone like Gaston. Now, I've seen it on the West End twice. I think it's a fantastic musical. You need someone who treated the world around him like it was his own stage. You know, everyone looking at him, the gaze is upon him, everyone's admiring him. You needed that. He brought so much presence to this role. And some bits you actually kind of felt, not kind of sorry for him, but a little bit like, at times to kind of show his humanity, if you will. You know, he'd come back from the wars, he'd been fighting, he'd proved his worth as a soldier, and then obviously the rejection with Belle, and it kind of spells from there, okay? But there's a dynamic going in between the Beast and Gaston, which is in the original Disney film, but not in this, okay? Regarding the character development and the evolvement, if you will, okay? Now, normally we have the bumbling inventor, and now that job has gone to Belle, okay? She invents stuff, and she's bookish and she reads, and it goes to Maurice as Kevin Kline. Now, one thing I did like is his characterization has totally changed. He is a bit more broody, he is a bit more hesitant, and his backstory, we'll get into the spoilers, is absolutely tragic, and you actually understand his motivations. This film tries to, for fans, for years, the fans have been saying, ask all these questions about how did Belle get the Beast back on the horse, what happened to Belle's mother, what happened to this, what happened to that. This answers them quite effectively, and it gives kind of like, Maurice is no longer the bumbling inventor, he's just a very, very concerned, sad father, okay? So, and I absolutely liked his melancholia, if you will, okay? So, he does a few things in the spoilers that I think are just dumb, but that's just me. Okay, now there is obviously the three servants. Okay, now naturally, things have to play exactly as they do, as a tale as old as time. So you've got the three servants. Okay, instead of being David Ogden Stiers, Angela Lansbury, and Jay Orbach, you have Ewan McGregor, Sir Ian McKellen, and Emma Thompson. Okay, they play it as they do in the original Disney film. Okay, there's a few changes though. Okay, now the servants they show a lot more. I did say in my original blog review of Beauty and the Beast about the servants having their own agenda about Belle and the Beast getting together. Okay, it's, you know, that song Human Again put all the focus on them and not an our titular couple, which I thought was a little bit. That's why I didn't like Human Again. This kind of, it goes along with the same thing. They have humility, they are desperate, they are sad, they are intense. However, out of the three of them, the only one I personally think got it right was Sir Ian McKellen as Cogsworth. He basically took what David Ogden Stiers did in the original film, and to me, he's the one who actually got his character, his characterization. He physically became Cogsworth. And sometimes I thought it was a little bit sad, because I just sat there thinking, apart from Jerry Orbach, who died a few years ago, who played Lumiere, why couldn't the original just come back? Because you're so used to these iconic characters being voiced by certain people that it's kind of hard to accept the new people. Even though they're doing, with Emma Thompson, now I've got nothing against Emma Thompson, we love Emma Thompson. I got Emma Thompson's autograph, okay? I wrote to her, I love Emma Thompson. However, the original Miss Potts by Angela Lansbury, she was like Mrs. Bridges and Upstairs Downstairs. She was a kindly woman. She was nice. She was like the mother figure. With this, there's an edge to her. It's not just reflected in her character design, and I do not like that, by the way. I don't like her character design. It's too boxy. It's not that. she just comes across as quite aggressive at times. I get that she's passion, but she's a little bit too sometimes, you know. So, and I just don't like her character design, the teapot thing. Sorry, I just don't like that. Okay, now naturally it is Beauty and the Beast, and things have to progress as they have to progress. But this kind of shows a difference between Bella and the Beast, is that they're a bit more equal now. And it's kind of funny because we're used to the Beast, as I said before, being in a state of arrested development. Instead, he is pretty much a bit more Belle's equal, and he can actually engage her in grown-up conversations. He gets some absolutely fantastic lines, you know. He's no longer a child, he is a grown man, and he gets some really, really comical lines. So, that's impressive. But the thing is, now obviously I talked about the characters, now the plot, everyone knows the plot, okay? The last petal fails, the spell will be broken. If not, he will remain the beast for all time. Here you go. See, I do know it. The countdown on that is a bit more intense. Now, they've taken the idea of the West End show where at times you can see the physical changes regarding the characters. That is also in this film. There's a countdown, there's a time limit. It's more intense. It's a bit more, you know, you get the feel of that petal falling, and if you don't actually see it falling, you know that's happening. Okay. Now, as I said before, the costumes and the costumes are actually very, very good. I'm going to also dedicate a moment now to Tales Old as Time, because everyone's probably seen the clip. Now, having the original Angela Lansbury, Miss Potts, had an edge to her, but Tale as Old as Time, sung by her, it was only one take, done in her actual Angela Lansbury voice. Okay. With this, you got Emma Thompson. Now, I give her a due. She's not a good singer. I'll tell you, she's not a natural singer. She's not a singer. But sometimes she felt like she was playing a bit more like Pamela Travers and Saving Mr. Banks. A bit too sharp at times, but she did a fantastic job singing. I mean, for someone who's not professional, I think she nailed it. And let's go to the titular character, the Beauty in The Beauty. Okay, I'm going to put my hands up right now and say this. When they announced it was Emma Watson as Belle, I was so dismissive. And I'm sorry, by the way. I can't edit. So, excuse me. Sorry, I can't edit. Sorry about that. When I found out that she was Belle, I was so dismissive. Because to me, the only one person who could play Belle was Samantha Banks, who was Eponine in Les Mis. British, brunette, and can sing. To me, she was Belle. Okay? And the fact that she was also a stage actress and had done film, okay? That's the double bonus. It's like Gaston. You need someone with a stage presence. Okay, I'm going to put it down as good enough. Better than what I expected. But I know that Paige O'Hara gave her blessing. Paige O'Hara being the original Belle, gave her blessing, and I know that she took singing lessons. At times it sounded very, very auto-tuney. At times it sounded like the song was overwhelming her. And at one point in something there, she sounded like she was Cockney. And I'm a West Londoner, and I understand the Cockney. She sounded a little bit Cockney, okay? So, but I give her dues. She's doing the best that she can on what she has, okay? It's because I just don't think that she should have been asked to play Belle. She did a good enough job. That's all I'm going to say about that. But best person in this film, okay? Now, as I said before, taking a classic like Beauty and the Beast and kind of reinventing it for them one day, you got the opportunity to take the minor characters and expand on them. With something like Maleficent, it falls apart because that film praised the cinematography. They think the film was good. They killed off Queen Lee. There was no meeting up between the families. Stefan Going Crazy was put on Maleficent, and anyone who complains that LeFou is gay or has a gay moment, did you complain that Stefan knocked out Maleficent and pretty much did the Disney equivalent of a friggin' date rape? No, you didn't. So, I remember the complaints for that film. So, stop your hypocrisy and move on. Now, I have not got to Frozen yet. That's a many, many blogs time, okay? But I don't like Olaf. I really don't like Olaf. I get to why eventually, even though I appreciate what Josh Gad did in the role. He just didn't do it for me. But Josh Gad as LeFou does, I think, the performance of his total life. Josh Gad gets character development. He gets his own little subplot. He gets humanity. He gains humility. He does one thing which no one else in the cast does, and I'll explain that in a spoiler review. Okay, I want people to see this first and probably see what I saw. He has this gift of, with a single look, what any other actor would take a page of dialogue. Okay? So everyone going on the fact, okay, that he happens to have a gay moment. If you want to see a Disney film with gay moments, okay, watch Basil of Baker Street, okay? Hey, watch The Lion King. that's got a lot of gay moments with Timon and Pumbaa, but no, okay? He is to stand out in this film because he understood his character of LeFou, but he understood these tweaks, these changes. He understood development. It's quite funny how the character development in the first film, the original Disney film, goes to the maturity goes to the Beast, but as that's already there, it goes to LeFou, and it's the better film for it. So that is one thing that Bill Corden did, which is astounding. I want Josh Gad to get Best Supporting Actor for whatever he goes for, because his timing was spot on. When he sung the song Gaston, which actually had a few extra lyrics, the joy in his voice, he sung like he couldn't believe he was there, and he was loving every single moment. To turn something like Gaston from the Disney film into live action was spot on, and that was it. That was very much like it is in the original animated film and in the West End. Now regarding, sorry, I'm moving my foot. I do have a bad foot after all. Now regarding the sing, that was when this film comes to life. Now Bill Corden directed Dreamgirls, by the way, so he understands how theatre works, or transposing theatre into the cinema. So regarding Be Our Guest, I expect it to be a little bit brighter, even though it was spot on. It was pretty much taken exactly from the Disney film. With Belle, once again spot on from the Disney film, okay? Once again spot on. Even though the way she pronounces a few words, like, there goes the baker. No, it is, there goes the baker. So, I just had to throw that in. So yeah, that was pretty much spot on. So a few songs on in there, a few new ones are in there. I will discuss what I think of them later. But this is a pretty good Disney film. And I'm going to do a spoiler, okay, because I'm not a Disney critic for nothing. I will be properly critiquing it, saying what they didn't get right. No Disney film isn't without problems, okay, or issues. This has a few, but I'm not going to be mean. I'm going to give it maybe a week, maybe even April Fool's Day in tribute to LeFou, to kind of give out what is they really did right, but what they actually did wrong about this film. But until then, thanks YouTubers, I'm your Disney critic, and sign off and take care. Mwah. Bye now.